This channel is documenting the journey to make $1 million on YouTube. And a big thing I want to talk about in this video is, does YouTube like variety channels? To give you a short answer and a long answer, because I have multiple YouTube channels, in case you didn't know, in some ways, in a lot of ways, no. But in other ways, yes. But it really depends upon one big thing. Now, if I go to this channel, you'll see this. Remember, this channel started as a rideshare channel, videos about making money with Uber, Lyft, etc. Now it's a channel about different ways to make money with this meta theme of documenting the journey to make $1 million on YouTube, hence right here. And one thing I did try for literally a little bit is making entertaining videos. So things about to get weird, unwind with this rooftop sunset, high me in one day. And you can see these videos didn't do well compared to these other videos where I talk about making money, different ways to make money on YouTube, etc., right? And I will say this channel is still going through a bit of a rebranding, so some of the views are a bit lower than they should be compared to, like, say, this channel started out as a making money on YouTube channel. But it is interesting because it has kind of got me wondering, like, I made these entertaining videos thinking it'd be funny, like, hey, this video about a rooftop sunset is getting us to $1 million. This video about me doing a scheduled video for high me in one day is getting us to $1 million. This video about things getting weird is going to get us to $1 million. But then I realized, you know what? There has to be some congruency, because here's the truth when it comes to having a variety channel on YouTube. On one end, YouTube wants you to stay on YouTube as long as possible. That is the biggest thing YouTube cares about. So the longer you keep someone on YouTube, the better. And the problem with a variety channel is YouTube says, well, we don't know who to recommend this channel to when all the videos are all over the place. Technically, but like I mentioned in the intro of this video, there's one interesting thing that really can switch it up, and that is the bingeability. That's the biggest word. Are your subscribers going to be used to the next video you may upload? Take this one person. I'm a huge fan of him, Slimy101. He just did this thing. He kind of changed his banner saying, see you soon. He did this whole project where he said, I'm going to do 100 videos in 100 days. He's going to do daily uploads. If he misses a day or misses an upload, he has to donate $100 to charity. Really cool idea, really cool concept. And you can see that he has all these different videos. But here's what's really intriguing. When I go to, actually I'll just scroll through here, you can see he has these crazy concepts. I'm not gonna lie, he is a genius when it comes to YouTube ideas. He has gone viral on YouTube, I'd say, 2.8 million views. He kind of created this own trend where you can kind of add in an extra audio track called Klingon, and it almost gives you like DLC style content. Like people were making tons of memes about this. He kind of created this own trend, or this big trend on YouTube now of like this video is X minutes long or whatever the case is. And what's kind of cool about this is when I go through his videos, you can see that they are kind of random. Like, have I fallen off? Watching a pot till it boils, unplanned yap session, a relaxing fish tank for an hour. And what's interesting is this doesn't really seem like a channel about one thing. But I think the big thing is he has talked about, like, the best way to vacation road trip. He has talked about, hey, I'm doing a daily upload. Every video is going to be kind of random all over the place. And I'm going to do some weird things, as you can see here, to talk about YouTube and to try to make weird stuff happen and blah, blah, blah. But the interesting thing about him is that you're expecting the same kind of video, right? Even though these are random, even though he is a variety channel by nature, the truth is, looking at his channel, you kind of know what to expect. There's another person that I want to show you, Swell Entertainment, huge fan of her as well, by the way, where all her videos about random stuff. Mount Everest, let's go to her most popular ones, by the way. Being an audience member, going to a boxing event, how to destroy your audience's trust. Like, she's just talking about random things. But here's the thing. Every one of her videos is the exact same thing. It's her talking to the camera in a monologue style format. You know exactly what to expect. You expect the tone, the etc. And this is a big thing to keep in mind, that I think a lot of times when people talk about variety channels not doing well on YouTube, the problem is, how is the variety being made? And what I mean by that is this. Let's say I have a channel that's all about Las Vegas. And this is a really good example because I actually have a channel, my main channel, which is like my vlog channel with my music and my vlogs and that kind of stuff. I've done a lot of videos about Las Vegas. And let's say your channel is a Las Vegas YouTube channel. It gets interesting because let's say every video I do about Vegas is me going out partying. So every video is about partying. Basically, it's like a in real life vlog where I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? For today, like I'm filming with my phone, hey, what's up, guys? For today, we're gonna go to Omni nightclub, and then I go to all these nightclubs and blah blah blah. People build a following, you'll build a following. But then, like, say I do a video like this where I'm sitting at a desk, I have a microphone, an actual microphone. There's no background audio from the Vegas Strip, and I'm like, hey, so for today, guys, we're gonna review, I don't know, XS nightclub. I went there last night. And let's say I have some voiceover, some cutaways, it would throw your audience off. And here's the thing. On one end, you're in the niche. You're not being variety. You're doing videos about Las Vegas. But on the other end, the bingeability really isn't there. You're doing something your audience is really not going to expect. They're used to you, let me word it like this, being out in the wild. You talking to the camera, maybe a lot of POV shots of the Strip, nightclubs, etc. A lot of viewpoint shots. They're expecting you to have a certain style, a certain congruency. And even if it's you, even if it's you, like I'm doing now, on one end, partying on the Vegas Strip as a vlog, and then another way doing like a monologue style format like I'm doing now, even if it's you, even if you're talking about Vegas, those two things actually don't connect as much. I mean, if anything, let's say I have a channel where I do these kind of videos, and let's say all I do is talk about, whatever I want in a monologue style format with this background, this microphone, this same setup. And let's say one video is about Las Vegas. But then let's say the next video is about how I got better at fitness. But then let's say the next video is how I started meditating more. I actually think a channel like that would do probably better because the style is almost the niche more than the niche itself. And I think that's a big thing to remember on YouTube, that I think a lot of YouTubers think like, okay, like, well, I have to create a channel that's all about one thing. And I say, not necessarily. Of course, that helps. But I think even more important than that is to create a channel that every single time you upload a video, the pacing, the style, what to expect is the same. This is why I think for my channel, like I just showed you, the entertaining videos that I did, even though, yeah, it was kind of weird, and maybe I thought that they might actually get some traffic, they really didn't, because it didn't really relate to the core elements of this channel, of what this channel was really based on, because I have about 10,000 subscribers right now, where a lot of it's about the education of making money. With Slimy, it's a little different. He said, hey guys, I'm going to almost make this a meme-like channel. Sometimes my videos are about breaking YouTube. Sometimes my other videos are about a fish tank. But either way, it does still, in a way, fall into the same category. I think also him having the meta theme of 100 videos in 100 days, or I donate $100 to charity, is also a really good thing. And I will say for this channel, of course, we do have the meta theme of documenting the journey to make $1 million on YouTube. But at the end of the day, this is, I think, a big thing to remember as well. People still have to want to watch your videos. So I did even one video on this channel, whereas, hey guys, I'm going to the gym. Can you watch my protein powder for me? And the video is about like an hour long. Or literally I have my protein powder sitting here on the desk and you just watch it. Now, on one end, it is kind of funny, very, very meme-worthy, that kind of thing. And it does relate to the meta theme. No matter what I post on this channel, we're getting closer to $1 million. But the truth is this, would you, be honest, watch a video of literally a protein powder sitting on a desk for an hour? Now, some people did. There are some people who did. But the truth is, it's not something you would typically watch. And I think this is what gets very, very important. I think this is why on this channel, as again, we're just having fun documenting the journey to make $1 million, it does start to bring up this idea of variety for me. Because I even know in a lot of cases, even when I started uploading videos about making money on YouTube, as opposed to making money for Uber and Lyft, it was a bit of a switch up. And this is for two reasons. One, because the algorithm. I have talked about this in other videos that algorithmically, YouTube wants to know what the channel is about so it can recommend it to somebody. But also, psychologically is the second thing. If, let's say, you're used to an Uber Lyft video, and then they upload a video about making money on YouTube, well, you might want, most likely you probably won't watch it. There's definitely like a Venn diagram where some people are interested in Uber and Lyft and making money on YouTube, but for a lot of the subscribers, based with the analytics, they didn't really care. So this channel, like I said, is still going through a bit of a rebranding phase, but it is an interesting thing when it comes to variety, because you see a lot of people, even look at Mr. Beast. He does the most random stuff in every one of his videos. It's kind of interesting to call Mr. Beast a variety YouTuber. I guess you could put him in the category as like philanthropy mixed with challenges, I guess. But I do look at him as somewhat of a variety YouTuber in a way, in terms of him doing all these different things. But at the end of the day, you kind of know what to expect each time you click on the video. And I think that's the big thing I say to a lot of YouTubers is the variety isn't necessarily in the topics. I think the variety is in the approach you take with your video, your editing style. How does it work? Like, take someone like Swell Entertainment, who I showed you. I looked through a bunch of her videos, and some of her past videos, this is like years ago, she did a vlog, as in like an in real life vlog, where she went out, did a vlog, and it didn't do that well. Then she did a video of her doing a monologue style thing, like I'm doing now, and it did well. She tried another vlog, it didn't work. And I think she kind of realized, like, you know what? Any single time I'm talking to the camera, let's say go to an event, let's say I'm gonna go to a boxing event. I have two different options as a filmer when it comes to making a YouTube video about it, or a few, but like typically two. One, I do an in real lifestyle vlog where you see me maybe having a drink, you maybe see the boxing match as almost a POV style, you see me maybe walking around, you almost act like you're in a National Geographic way, experiencing the event vicariously through that video. That's the first way we can create that video. The second way you can create that boxing video is as a monologue style with voiceovers. So basically after the fact, as in, hey guys, so I went to this weird YouTube boxer event, here's what happened. And you explain in your own words, in a monologue style format, what it was like, what you thought was good, what you thought was bad, and all this kind of stuff. And throughout that, you have some shots that you took. And what she realized for her is that her monologue style format was significantly better. Even though the variety of her channel is very all over the place. She even did, as a matter of perspective, a video about how do you need a niche on YouTube? And she said no, because she does videos about literally the most random things. But she does have a niche. And the niche is in her style and delivery, that each video she uploads, you expect a monologue style format, typically about something current, as in a current event, something going on in the news, maybe a trending topic, maybe a book she read, whatever the case is. And throughout that, she has voiceovers on top of it. I guarantee, and let's say, like I mentioned that Vegas example, let's say all she did was talk about trends on TikTok. But then let's say she went out to a TikTok event and did an in real life vlog being in a TikTok event. I guarantee would not do that well. Even though let's say her niche was TikTok, the style is very off. Like I mentioned with the Vegas example, if let's say all I do is videos about Vegas and they're all in real life vlogs, and then do like say a monologue video like this, and I'm like, hey guys, in this video, I'm gonna talk about 5 ways to go to Vegas on a budget. And like say I just talk to you like this. Yeah, it's not a bad video topic, 5 ways to go to Vegas on a budget. And by the way, if you do it right, Vegas can be very cheap. But I don't think it would do that well because people are used to one particular style. Even though the niche is within Vegas, on paper, it looks like you're in the same niche, the audience will be thrown off. And I think this is a huge thing to remember and keep in mind when it comes to making a channel, that the variety isn't necessarily in the topics, although of course that's very important, right? That is sometimes can be very, very important. But the big niche itself that's very overlooked when it comes to YouTube is the style delivery and making sure that any single time someone clicks on one of your videos, they're expecting, in a way, the exact same thing.